This is Devon from Terrible Takes, and in today's episode, we're going to be discussing the events of WWE Raw last night, man. You know, Raw is war, and last night it was the last episode of 2025, and they ended on a bang. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. It was a lot of good moments, and you know, there were some moments that were pretty cringe. But we'll get to all of that and everything in between. We're going to start off with what happened at the opening monologue. Austin Theory was confirmed as a new member of the Vision. That's pretty big, man. And you know, last week he looked solid. He looked solid, man. I like the way he reinvented himself. He's got a lot of star power, and you know, he's potentially a main eventer. Division. Speaking of Division, they came out and you know, they were going through their whole spiel, and Braun Breaker says that he made it clear that he's tired of people saying that he's the future, and you know, he says, "I'm the present, I'm the now." Which is good for him, man. Which is really good for him. He's got a lot of talent. He's very skilled, and he's gonna be the big fish, hopefully. CM Punk comes out and interrupts that monologue of theirs, and you know, he had the line of the night. CM Punk had the line of the night. He tells Braun Breaker, like, "Hey, I like to look a man in the eye before I put him to sleep." And that was pretty hilarious, man. I enjoyed that. That was definitely the line of the night. So nothing happened. You know, they said some things back and forth. Then CM Punk drops the mic. You know, he's probably the best person in the business on the mic right now. I don't see anybody that's better than him, man. He's on top of the world. But he drops the mic and walks out. The first match of the night was actually the women's triple threat match for the heavyweight championship with Raquel and Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. There's a little tension right now, but I guess that's something that always goes on inside the Judgment Day. They're always going back and forth with each other. But in this particular episode, last week, Liv tried to pull some of her shenanigans, and they ended up costing Raquel the match. So Raquel made it clear, like, "Hey, I don't want you guys to come out. I want to do this myself." And man, that match was one of the best matches of the night. Those three women, hats off to them. They did their thing. And I feel like they're building up Raquel to really take off. Because they stuck Becky in the match to take the pin, and she's been taking a lot of pins lately. Becky's been taking a lot of pins lately, but you know, she probably gets paid very handsomely for it. So kudos to her. Valkyria put on a show. She had a very good moment where Nikki Bella, I'm sorry. Nikki Bella had her in the ankle lock, Raquel in the ankle lock, and Valkyria dives in and she hits Raquel with the devil's kiss. So it was kind of like a double-edged sword for Raquel. She got the short end of the stick there. But Valkyria ended up winning that match. She is the best. She's on top of the world right now, man. But I feel like WWE, Hunter, Triple H, they're, you know, pushing Raquel to be one of the next big things, and she deserves it. She has a nice skill set. She has pretty good charisma, and you can kind of see what they're doing with her. R-Truth, the biggest kahunas out of anybody in the locker room, any of the men in the locker room. You know, John Cena was one of his guys, his childhood idol. And Gunther has been parading around like, yeah, I made him tap out and called him a little, you know what. And so R-Truth stood up to the bully. Gunther accepted his challenge, and the match started off pretty promisingly. R-Truth got his shots in, you know, he picked up some momentum, but Gunther quickly shut it down. There's a moment in the match where Gunther actually hit him with the powerbomb and he pinned him. Had a clear 3 count, but he picked him up by his head. He wanted to humiliate him some more, and he ended up putting R-Truth to sleep, which is pretty funny, man. That's his thing now. Ever since he put Jay to sleep and Cena, you know, that's his thing. So R-Truth. We got R-Truth. Gunther is officially the Legend Killer now. So, Kabuki Warriors put out a promo. I thought it was pretty cringe. You know, a lot of Kyrie and Rio. You betrayed me, and I taught you this and that. And I feel like the Kabuki Warriors, they're like great characters, but they do need to work on their English promos to take that next step. You know, because it's their promo was pretty cringe last night. Just we'll go back and watch it, but it was pretty cringe. But I feel like Rio intervening during that promo actually was a mercy. It was a mercy because it was pretty cringe. You know, they proceeded to get into a fight, and Rio got the better of them again. Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory. This was a banger. You know, they were going back and forth. Jake Paul accompanied him to the ring for some bro time. Theory put together. He's got a nice package, man. I like Theory's moves. You know, he looks like a different wrestler now. But yeah, Ray was about to get him. Jake Paul intervened, and you know the beatdown proceeded. And then everybody's favorite luchador, Penta, made his return. He actually looked like he gained some weight, man. I don't know if that shirt was too tight on him, but he looked like he gained a little bit of weight. But yeah, that ended that match. And Maxine and Becky. Maxine had a promo. You know, she's actually getting more comfortable on the mic, man. Maxine might be on her way. She might be on her way. But she put together a good promo. She told Becky, she had one of my favorite lines of the night too. She said, "Becky, you got two choices. I'm gonna break your ankle." Yeah, Becky's pretty good, man. She's a good actor too. I like Becky. But yeah, that leads us to our last match of the night, and it was a banger. We had the Usos versus AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for the tag team championships, and they were going at it. It was a good night. Overall, it was a great episode. The Usos eventually, you know, pulled out the win. You know, took some extra moves to take out AJ Styles, and of course, Dragon Lee took the pin. But it took some really good moves, and I'm excited to see the storyline with the Usos, man. They made the tag team titles relevant again because they were just kind of by the wayside. It wasn't as important, I think. But now, you know, I feel like with the tag belts on it, it'll have a little bit more weight. So, guys, that's my recap of the show. You guys, make sure you check it out. Let me know your thoughts about last night's episode in the comments. Peace.